The devil don't gotta tempt you if you're already allowing your mind to work for you, or if you're already doing bad. What does the
Yeah.
devil need to come and make you do better for? Like, you're already on the wrong track, sister or brother.
The devil is not going to work on something that you're already thinking. He is very lazy at his job. And then think about it. He doesn't come with anything new. If the same thing got you off track the last time, he not coming back with like, well, let me go to ChatGPT and see what else I can mess him up with
Literally.
this week. But let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Desto, if you do slip up, because we all do, when you do slip up and maybe you do either make a bad choice on your own or you allow the devil to take you off your path, what is something that you do once you realize like, oh, I done messed up?
Hey, y'all. And we back. 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 Y'all, we know it's
Hey,
season 5. I'm so excited. I just can't.
it's
Okay.
crazy.
It is crazy. 5 seasons. But it's your girl, Big Desto, not the little one.
And be more, never less, don't forget it.
And we are back.
Girl coming in spicy.
For real. Don't forget it. We are back. We are so back, y'all. The topic for today, I think it's a good topic. And I'll be trying to think of how deep can this topic, I feel like this topic can go as deep as you want it to go, because it's a little, some people be quick to say, ooh, the devil. Maybe that was
Is working today.
right. That was you. That wasn't the devil, sister. But I just feel like I used to do that though. So the topic is everything bad doesn't come from the devil, right? And I be feeling like
Yes.
I feel like I used to think that, because obviously nothing bad is coming from God. So it got to be coming from somewhere, but I never considered myself. Like,
Yes.
maybe it's the things that you're doing that is causing the bad things to happen, you know? So that's what our topic is today. Brittany came up with it. Shout out to her.
I did come up with this topic because I think sometimes we forget that we have free will. Like, it literally says that you have free will. You can make your own choices. But I think, too, I think a lot of people actually have an issue with realizing when they are wrong, because it's much easier to blame somebody else as to why you continuously do the same thing. Oh, this person on my job did this, so this is why I can't work with this. Oh, well, when I was a kid, my mama treated me like this, so this is why I had this. Oh, my daddy, did this, so this is why I
Right.
had trust issues. It's like at some point,
Girl.
you have to also realize, like, y'all are all individual people. Your parents had a past, whoever you work with had a past, whatever it is that they're dealing with, and you have a choice to decide how you want to respond to life in general. And I think sometimes we get stuck in certain ruts because when God even opens up a door, an opportunity for something else, like you'll count your own self out, and then you'll stay in your situation and you'll be like, here we go with this. God just don't want to answer my prayer. And it's like, I literally opened the door. When they said new job has been posted, that was your opportunity to apply.
Exactly.
You didn't do that.
They
So
looking
I think,
I was gonna say they
right,
looking
they
for
looking for like a sign.
like God come
And
down and say, that's
unfortunately,
your job. Go apply.
go apply. And that don't happen. But then when the bad stuff happens too, you don't put yourself in that. It's the devil out here working. The devil, and he ain't taking no days off. And it's like, now you woke up, got in your car, and decided to go key that man car, now you in jail.
Right.
You shouldn't have done that.
It's called consequences for your actions.
So you're going to jail, ma'am.
Kids, you wanna Carrie Underwood, flashing people's tires and whatever else she did in that song, and you just sometimes
Yes.
have to reflect and be like, "What is it that I've been doing to get me in the position that I'm in currently?" And I feel like, one of
Yeah.
the things that okay, so when we were, like, planning, like, we always, like we put little notes for the topic, right? And the thing that stood out to me the most,
Mhm.
and I don't wanna, read it wrong, but it said, "The devil don't gotta tempt you if you're already allowing your mind to work for you, or if you're already doing bad, what does the
Yeah.
devil need to come and make you do better for? Like, you're already on the wrong track, sister or brother." So it's just like, now
Yes.
instead of saying that, "Oh, that's the devil," it's kinda just like and it's the true thing. I was gonna say I personally feel like, but if you're on the right track and you're doing the things God calls you to do, you're staying near to him, you're doing all the things, right? That's when the
Yeah.
devil feels like he needs to come attack you. But if you're already taking it upon yourself to go out and get drunk every night, to go out and have sex with that girl man, and they together, to go out and just keep blaming everybody else for your issues, like Brittany said, stuff that happened when you was a child, you still holding on to that. We sorry your mama put a perm on your head when you was 3, but that you gotta let that go.
That part.
Everything is not out here to haunt you, but if it's what you do with those things and how you learn and grow from them. But if you allow them to consume your mind and you allow yourself to get so caught up in all the negative things, what does the devil? You're doing his job for him, literally.
Exactly.
I'm not
Pretty much.
understanding.
I mean, you got to go back to literally the first story that most of us know about the Bible. When you go back to the garden, right, with Adam and Eve. When when he entered the garden and he was speaking to Eve, not one time did he say like, "Oh, you should eat the apple or the fruit." Let me say it right because we don't know what the fruit was. Okay. You should eat from the tree. He literally was just saying everything God had said, but was saying it in such a way that it was like, well, he knows everything and he's trying to keep you from it. Eve was literally like, well, I do want to know. I am curious. So she made the choice to go ahead and eat the fruit. Not one time did it said he entered and he said, you should eat the fruit. He just put it in her head of what this all could symbol and what God was trying to keep from them, even though God had already given them very specific instructions. Uh-oh, take that out. Um had already given them instructions, you know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes we also have to realize when Destiny just said the devil is not going to work on something that you're already thinking, he is very lazy at his job. And then think about it. He doesn't come with anything new. If the same thing got you off track the last time, he not coming back with like, well, let me go to Chat GBT and see what else I could mess him up with
Literally.
this week. Want to replay the same thing. And so I just kind of feel like if you say you're reading the Bible, if you say you want to do better, if you're saying that you want to be held accountable, you want to walk on the path that the Lord has set for you, then yeah, those things are hard, but that doesn't mean that the Lord isn't listening to you.
Right.
It just means you're making changes. You're making a new choice to not repeat the same thing that either you have been repeating to yourself, or even if the devil has been repeating these same things to you. You have to make the choice to say, I'm going to go this way. I'm
Mhm.
going to go this way because I know this is the Lord telling me to go this way, and it's going to be hard, but I want better for myself and I want to walk in the light, right? That's your free will to do so. If you then decide not to go left, then baby, keep going where you been going.
Right. But even when you do decide, "Hey, okay, I finally wanna listen and I'm gonna go where I feel like God is calling me to go," right? That and then bad things happen, that's when you ask God for discernment, because it's not to say, oh, just because
Yeah.
you're on the right path and you're doing the things God called you to do, that bad things are not gonna happen. Yeah, now that's the devil coming to mess with you. Oh, how dare she try to go get her life together? Like, no, he's trying to make you go back to your old ways, right? So it's kind of just like, or even the people that you surround yourself with, the people, because I've have seen it for myself. When you start trying to get your life together and you start trying to do things differently, you're no longer doing the certain things you used to do. That comes with losing people, right? Because
Yep.
everybody gonna be like, everybody not trying to grow with you. And sometimes you have to let people go. But sometimes God will bring those people back into I mean, not God, the devil will try to bring those people back into your life to see, oh, how strong. She say she all into the word. She say she's so strong and she following God. But I know this one nigga. Oh, I know this. I know this one boy over here that got her wrapped around his finger. And then boom, So it's not like he's like Brittany said, it's not like he's coming up with something new. He's gonna use the same tactics at once got you that kept you stuck to try to bring you back to those things. And that's why I feel like it's very important to have that discernment because when you are trying to do right, you have to know, is this coming from God? Is this coming from, the devil? Is this me? Sometimes it like you'd be like, oh, I heard it in my girl. That was you talking to yourself. Like you have a conscience. Like it's not, it just is what it is. You have to know the difference. And I feel like it takes I'm not gonna say it take a long time because I don't know everybody's journey, but I feel like for me, it took me a little while to recognize like, was that me? Was that, like, God, if that was you, make a pink car drive by right now. You don't see pink cars all the time.
Right?
God, if that was you, if that was you, a bird would fly across this car right now. But it's just because sometimes I don't know. I really don't know. And then when I don't know, I just don't act. Because I don't know if that was me, if that was God. I'm just going to be still for a while. Because if I do it and that
Yeah.
wasn't God, I'm going to be mad. Because now I'm all starting all over again. So it's constantly just finding that discernment
Yes.
and knowing that even when you are choosing the right thing, you are following God and doing all the things. It's not to say that things just get so much easier. It gets a lot of easier. Don't get me wrong, but that is when the devil is going to tempt you the most. Because baby, I was
Yeah.
out here smoking, drinking, and doing all the things, and there's no way that that was the devil. When I woke up every day, decided that that's what I wanted to do. There was nothing in me saying, no, I don't think I should do that anymore. I was literally
Yeah.
living I was literally playing on the devil's playground. He good with that. It was nothing for him to keep throwing at me because I'm literally doing it. With my free will, that's what I decided to do. Lord bless my heart, Jesus. Because I was tripping.
Yes. And I think most of the time you'll know when you're making a change because you shed a lot of things. I think the biggest thing is that you shed people
Mhm.
because if you're a I mean, when was the last time outside of like maybe a family member or somebody who worked, in a rehab, if you're a drug addict, you ain't out going to gringos with regular folks. Like you hanging out with other drug addicts because no one is like demeaning you. No one's telling you no. Y'all all looking for y'all next hit together. So this seems very normal. If you're, doing the wrong, if somebody steals, whatever the case may be. But I do think sometimes let's bring it back to a smaller scale because I mean, we ain't hanging out with murderers. But I do think when we talk about like building our business or making our podcast the number one podcast, you've heard us say multiple times, probably before either one of us was even pregnant, we'd be like, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, today ain't the day.
No, for
I
real.
don't feel like it. But sometimes your feelings and your goals are two totally different things. And I'm not saying you don't deserve to rest or to take a break, but we do these things on Sunday, which means we're getting things done ahead of time, probably watching the earlier church sermons,
Mhm.
versus them being later in the day because we realize that if we don't put an episode out, we can't be out here talking about we're gonna be the #1 podcast. So
Right.
whether it's changing up your schedule, shedding people, shedding new ideas of yourself, for the fulfillment of him. And when I say him, I mean God, then I feel like that could be more of a clear indication that you're on the right track. And sometimes you can become a little nervous about doing something new, or realizing like, okay, I'm walking away from something that doesn't serve me to serve him. And you got to go ahead and let yourself know that God doesn't put fear in us. Right. So then remind yourself of those things, because the devil will make it seem like, hey, this is scary. You can't do this. This ain't good. Block all that,
Mhm.
right? He's going to do everything to keep you from going the other way. And that's why Destiny keeps saying, when you are trying to better yourself, it gets harder. Why? Because if I'm already out here doing drugs, lying, sleeping around with other people, whether it's somebody else's man or not, why do he need to bother me? He can go on to the next person that he needs to, get on his team. But baby, he not
Right.
supposed to get me. I don't like Texas heat.
I can't.
I can't be down here in hell
I
eternally.
I am trying to get up to them gates and God say, "Good job, my good and faithful servant." If he don't say that, I'm just going to lose it.
Girl, dive
I
in is what
please,
I'm gonna do.
I'm literally gonna fall down to my knees. And then at that point, it ain't nothing I could do. But I'm going to be distraught. Like I don't want to hear nothing else but
Mhm.
that. And so I was gonna say, even with like with the podcast and stuff like that, feeling like, because we had a conversation recently of me feeling like I want to make sure we're continuously involving God in our podcast, right? Not to say like we're gonna be a Christian, like we going to theology school and finna become preachers. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is, in order for me to get in front of this camera every Sunday and try to give wisdom and sound advice, I have to know it for myself. And sometimes when I'm trying and I'm doing these things, I'm reading my Bible every day, I'm doing all the things, and we're putting out these episodes, right? A few weeks ago, and this was in season whatever season this was for, we put out an episode and people was talking in the comments. But the thing is, they ain't say nothing mean to Brittany. They was all talking about me. And so I was like, and I was just and at first I was like, don't care about them, they're strangers. But sometimes then when I get to a still place and I just sat with myself, that was like the only thing I could think about. And I get on here and I'm like, I don't care what people say. I don't care this. And I don't. Like whatever such and such said about me on TikTok or whatever, it is what it is. But when I got by myself and I was just alone with my thoughts, it was like the devil was just like, they said this about you. They said that you might as well just go ahead. I am not gonna lie. I think I told this to Corey. I was like, I started to feel as though, what is the point of me doing this podcast? But then, and that's what I'm saying, you gotta have discernment. Because I knew that was the devil, right? You trying to trick me out my spot. That's what you're trying to do. But then then I heard another voice saying, but then I had to come to my senses. If I'm asking God, I want me and my sister's podcast to be the #1 podcast in the world, right? I'm doing the things, I'm reading my Bible, I'm showing up every Sunday, I'm editing every week, I'm doing all the things. I'm putting in the work. Faith without work, dead. I'm doing my part. But as soon as somebody got something negative to say about me, now I want to give up. God was like,
Yeah.
so you want me to bless you with the #1 podcast in the world, but you can't handle a few negative comments. And I had to be like, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I don't know what that was. I can handle it. And this
I
is,
just had a moment.
right, I was just having a moment. And so I had to realize, like, the devil is going to try to come after you. And like if we got on here talking about anything and everything, oh, girl, we went to the club last night and, oh, that man was fine. And we got on the podcast saying stuff like that. The enemy would not have no problem with that. But how dare they get on there and talk about God? How dare they go? And then this is like social media. And I'm not saying the world is watching us, but eventually. And so it's like That's not why would he want us to be on here spreading the word of God? Why would he want us to be on here showing how our walk with God is going? Anything that's God related, why would he want that? So when stuff like that happens, I have to literally know to like snap myself out of it. Like I cannot let the devil get in my head and try to keep me away from the things that God is calling me to do. You know, it is what it
Yeah.
is. And I had to get my life together. Well, God had to help me because I ain't gonna lie. I had to pray every day about that multiple times a day. It was like it would hit me out of nowhere. Remember what they said about you on that? And I'm like,
But I mean,
dang.
that kind of goes back. It goes back to everything, right? Because when you say I'm gonna be the number one podcast, you also have to realize like that means we're probably gonna be doing live shows. This is gonna be like a full time thing. We will not be doing this in our homes. We will have
Right.
like a studio to go to. Who knows if we're still gonna be living in different states? But regardless of what it entails to have a number one podcast, we're up for the job. I want to see the changes. I'm excited for that, right? Nothing about that made us fearful. It's just like, okay, we'll pivot, we'll figure out when that time comes, we'll figure out what needs to be done so we can get the work done. But when the devil comes in and plays with you, she immediately got fearful. It was, well, yeah, well, how am I going to do that? Why these people don't like me? Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because then I am opening myself up to more opinions. Because whether we're saying something that a million people agree with, there's going to be somebody who's like, girl, and if you ever go see this on TikTok, the crazy thing is that I think it was the double standard, maybe. It was the double standard episode, I want to say.
It was the 50-50 one.
No? Oh yeah, it was the 50-50 one. And when you listen to it, we're actually speaking more to what women could be doing, which is to kind of help more with the man, right? And only men were commenting like, you shouldn't be doing this. And I'm like, bro, we're not saying we want to sit on our butts and let you take care of us. We actually saying we feel like we shouldn't be a liability. We should have our own, in the sense of I'm going to further help. You know what I'm saying? And the way they came, and I understood where she was coming from, so I never like told her like don't feel what she's feeling. But I feel like that was going to be an easy way for the devil to come in, because like she said, no one said anything on any of the other content that went out in regards to this episode, in regards to me speaking. It was literally only the video which was posted of her speaking. Of course, you can see me on the video, but it was literally, it just felt like it was all about her. And I, in my opinion, was just like, that is the devil coming in to try to make you fearful, and keep you from speaking in such a way that it empowers other people. Because like she said, we don't want to make this a Christian podcast, but to come on here and sit down and act like we don't read the Bible, or we're not implementing the things that we're learning from the Bible to our everyday life. I mean, you literally said the N word while talking about God. We are a work in progress.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we just try to be real with everybody from our perspective, but also from his perspective. What is it that we're learning? We are not gonna hit it right every time, but we're learning that, okay, we're not for everybody. And everybody isn't on the same journey yet. You know, I hope a lot of people do turn and go towards God. But if you're not there, you're not there. But that's not gonna stop us. You know, we're not gonna become fearful. We're not gonna let the devil play in our mind to say we can't do what we said we wanted to do. Period.
And
And
I
you heard it
even with
from your girl. Be more, nevertheless, we coming with it.
but I feel
I,
like even with that, like you're saying, yes, I had to choose to be like, I'm not gonna let the devil ruin my day today. I'm not gonna let the people
yeah.
in them comments that who I never will see a day in my life get to me. But I also had to realize, like, at first I was like, oh no, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, they got me messed up. But I had to stop. And I feel like God was like, hold up. And it's not that I was getting on there cussing nobody out, but I have to be mindful of what I'm saying, right? I'm portraying myself as a woman of God. I'm portraying myself as a follower of Christ. I'm doing all these things. I'm living my life accordingly, right? But as soon as somebody got something negative to say about me, you be da 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 da. I'm going off at the handle. Like they're gonna be looking at me like, and that's what the devil wanted me to do, right? Was to sit there and let
Yeah.
his little tactic take me away from the whole bigger picture. The thing is, this is my okay. Yeah, it's ours, but give me a second. This is my podcast. This is my opinion. If you don't like it, well, that's just too bad. Because I'm not here to appease everybody. Just like Jesus. He was a perfect man. Everybody they still have something to say about him. And so what makes me feel like I'm exempt from people having an opinion about me, a negative opinion. So
Yeah.
when they said negative things about him, you didn't see him going back and forth with nobody. You didn't see him, you can't allow the devil to get in your mind and try to, like I said, trick you out your spot. Because at the end of the day, I have free
Yeah.
will and I'm choosing the right side of things. I am not allowing the devil to come in my space or in my head or in my mind, my whatever, and try to tell me anything anything that goes against what God has already told me. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. If
Yeah.
I know this to be true, why am I worried about what anybody else has to say? That just makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
And they almost had me. They did, but that's all right.
She got
I'm
back
still
up,
here.
y'all.
I'm still in the house.
Right? And she gonna keep talking.
Right. Make sure y'all just tune
We
in.
gonna post again next week.
Period. So,
Okay, well
allowing
maybe not next week because this is episode 10.
oh, yeah.
We gonna
For
take a break,
sure.
but we will
You
be
get the
back.
point. Right, you get the point.
Yes.
And it's just I don't know, but I'm grateful to have that discernment of knowing when it is time to Imma just let God handle that. I'm not, because if I handle it, I'm gonna get canceled. So I had to
No, for
literally just
real.
be like I just stopped checking it. Whatever. I don't I don't care. Because at first I was like, "Brittany, it's another one." Somebody else said something like, "Dang." But I had to choose peace instead. Don't let the devil come in and try
Right?
to tell you. But if I did decide to get on there and go crazy and say what I wanted to say, and I did end up getting canceled and our podcast never made us to number one in the world, I couldn't blame the devil at that point. I did it to myself. I
No.
allowed him to come in my head and to be like, yeah, go you tell them. Oops. And now look at me. So I had to choose
Right.
God.
Now I would have called her. But that comes with surrounding yourself with certain people as well. Because the devil will play on you, but knowing who to talk to, who you can have those real conversations with, they help. Because I'm not gonna lie, but y'all know I be ready. Well, what the like, who you think you talking to? I would y'all if y'all stay on my Instagram, I stay telling my sister I'm the best thing that happened to her. What? I love my sister, and I would fly anywhere for her. She could be dead wrong, and I'd be like, on the first flight, I got room on my credit card today.
On the way.
On the way in my all black. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Um, but I think one thing we probably wouldn't even have thought of to speak on today, and it just came to me is one, her husband actually said, "Hey, are you mad that I didn't comment?" And then they had a conversation. I'm not gonna go into all of that, but she was able to have a conversation with her husband in regards to the situation, which I think was one way of reassurance of this is fine, like you're okay.
Right.
And then two, my husband saw it, and I ain't gonna lie, I can't say what he said.
You sure can.
Even Destiny was like, "Oh boy, you can't say that."
He mad
And
at
I
me.
literally told I was yes, I was like, "Oh, you big man." And again, it wasn't even me. It was her. So
Right.
just imagine you said, you light the fire, somebody gonna put some more fuel on it and it's just gonna get bigger. But I do remember me saying, "Hey, don't let this like get in the way of anything. And then I also told Bree, do not respond, because when we blow up, people are going to find all the old things and they're going to want to nitpick us and tear us apart. They're going to realize who our husbands are, who our kids are. And you know, like you get under a microscope. Anything you do or say becomes like a bigger thing. And I'm not saying if somebody was like, oh, she was cussing. I said it on this episode that I still be ready sometimes and I have to calm myself down. So I'm always gonna be a work in progress. But I do make better choices and I do pick and choose where to put those things. And even if I am speaking up for myself, I use better words. I'm not gonna say I don't cuss, but baby, we not stringing all the cuss words I know together, which is where I used to be. It didn't make sense, but you understood what I meant back then. So I think having a circle of people that she could call when she felt like she said, she did sit still, which is also good that she went to the Lord for, because he's going to do more than what we could have said or been able to give. But I think just having a good circle, her husband as well as me, and then her brother-in-law, I'm pretty sure if she would have called mama or dad, it would have been the same thing. But that's why when we're talking about making new choices for yourself and realizing that God does want to draw you closer, that everything is a choice from you. You want to be closer to God, you go to him. You have to continue that conversation with him. He's always there. He's already waiting for you to come to him. You know what I mean? So once you do, it's up to you to keep the relationship going with him. And then he's always in your corner whenever you decide to go to him. And I think once we remember that, it makes it a lot easier to, like she said, to have those discernments of whether or not, okay, am I talking to myself and I need to sit still? Is this God? Now I need to be obedient? And is the devil working on me? Because it could be either of those things, but you have to learn to sit still long enough to make the decision, again, your free will, to make the decision on which way you're going to go. And I'm not saying we always went the right way, but I think for the most part, once we shedded a lot of things that we knew weren't working for us, it made it a lot easier to then say, I can make a better decision because I'm surrounded by the right people. I have my Bible. I kind of know when that's the devil. I know I'm fearful. This cannot be of God, you know, and it makes it a lot easier to say, all right, I'm good. And now, based on that, this is where your girl gonna go. And this is what we're
Exactly.
gonna do.
Because God does
Yeah.
not fill your
Snap
spirit
that
up
up.
with fear, self-doubt, anything that goes
Yeah.
against him. If it goes against him, you automatically just know that that's that other one over there. He ain't got nothing else to do.
Yes. But let me ask you a question. Yeah,
What's up?
that's though. If you do slip up, because we all do, when you do slip up and maybe you do either make a bad choice on your own or you allow the devil to take you off your path, what is something that you do once you realize, like, oh, I done messed up? Because you know when you messed up, like stuff ain't working right. You be like, oh, dang, I did the same thing I did the last time. I said I wasn't gonna do that no more. So when that happens and you've already done it, like what would you tell the people? What would you tell yourself to kind of try to redirect yourself?
First, what I do is I accept the fact that I did it. It's done. I can't take it back. Cause I used to beat myself up over it. Like, okay, girl, what you gonna do about it now? You can't take it back. You did it. You said it. Now what? And I think I spoke on it before that stepped out of character when somebody did something like they wronged me, and I felt like, oh, this is the last time that they're gonna feel my wrath this time. And I went out of I guess I did go out my way to make sure they, yeah. Yeah, because I'm not one of them. I'm big that stuff, not the little one. And I said some things, and I did some things, and I was not proud of them. But I had to be like, and then I had to sit with myself and say, okay, I did that. You know, in the moment, did it make me feel a little better? I ain't gonna lie. It did, y'all, because I was so mad. I was so mad, but I was also on that devil's playground at the time. Secondly, so I ain't feel that bad about it. And secondly, once I like it's always when I get to myself where I'm like, now why would you do that? I feel like because I feel as though I'm pretty grounded within my walk with Christ. I'm pretty grounded within my Christianity and stuff like that. When stuff like that happen, when I do slip up, it's like as soon as God get me by myself, he's like, now why
Mhm.
would you do that? And I'm like, you know what? You was right. And I have to ask for forgiveness. And then, so in that situation, I remove myself completely. I don't trust myself enough to be around this person because I know how they like the trigger. You know, the enemy know that person triggers me. They came around doing the things to trigger me, and I was triggered, and boom. Okay, so I had to remove myself. I had to be like, okay, Destiny, that is not the crowd for you, you know? And what are you gonna do
Mhm.
moving forward? It's nothing you can do to change it. It's nothing you can do to take it back. But what are you gonna do moving forward? That's like I always say when I'm asking God to forgive me and I'm asking for him to have grace with me or, mercy on me, like please be a little patient, Lord. I have to learn to do that with myself. Like I have to take everything a day at a time. I got it wrong yesterday, but today is a whole new day. What can I do about today? I can't. God bless you with a whole new day, sister, and you worry about what such and such did last night. You know, so I have to learn to just
Yeah.
stand strong in my faith and knowing that although I did make that mistake, although I did make that bad decision, God still loves me. As long as I'm not continuously going out there just going off on people. Okay. At that point, girl, look, leave God alone. Stop asking that man for forgiveness because he is tired. Okay. But I had to just turn away from it completely. I remove myself. If I know that I can't trust myself in a certain situation, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation. If I know that if they say one wrong thing and I always got something better to say, trust me. And I know I'm supposed to be controlling my tongue because going off on people is not of God. I have to just be like, you know
No.
what? I'm gonna just let you have it. And I just stop. Honestly, I'm not gonna say I just stop, but I just allow God to correct me. Cause a fool hates correction. Be open to allowing somebody to tell you, girl, what you did was stupid. And it may not be
Yeah.
what you want to hear because your feelings are valid to you. Like you care so much about how it made you feel that you're forgetting that even when somebody do you wrong, even when a situation does, go left, you have to have that self-control to be like, I'm not gonna let you get me out of character. So I had to just learn to be
Yeah.
like, I might not get the last word on this one, and then it's okay because I know whatever words they over there saying is lies anyway, so it's cool. I just let people
Yeah.
believe what they want to believe. I ain't got time. I'm not going back and forth with you. Whatever. So yeah, you just have to learn to be done. That's the whole point of the podcast. You just have to be done. You messed up. Okay, moving forward, you're gonna find yourself in a
Yeah.
situation again. He's gonna try to tempt you again. It's
Yeah.
inevitable. But that's when you
And you can
recognize
change
it,
whenever you want to.
huh?
I saying the blessing is you can change whenever you want to. It doesn't have to be something that happened years ago. You could have done wrong last night, and you
Literally.
can wake up and say, "Nah."
That has happened to me
You can
before.
do.
A few months ago.
Yeah.
I woke up like,
See?
"Oh, I ain't like nothing about that."
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna tell y'all what happened or what, took place, but that day, I was like, "I'm not drinking no more." I mean, granted, a month later, I found out I was pregnant, so I couldn't anyways, but that month, I went strong. I ain't drink. But I'm just saying, when I realized something and I noticed I act like this when I'm doing this. I act like this when I'm around such. Then stop going over there. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Why you every time you go into the store, you feel the need to buy a bottle? Stop. And then you won't have that issue I'm not gonna say anymore, but it'll be easier for you to, acknowledge it whenever something does arise that it's like, oof, if I stay around, this ain't gonna end pretty. So I'm just gonna go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm head out. So that's what I
And
did.
find something else to do when you have the urge,
Right? I
because
got
I feel like
tired of
sometimes
getting
we're
in
like,
my own way.
"Sit here, I ain't going to the store. I ain't go." Well, now we sitting with it. now we literally are just sitting. So I'm always like, okay, if I know that I have the urge to do this, when I have this feeling, okay, I'm going to now replace that with going for a walk. I'm going to replace that with opening up my Bible. I'm going to replace that with watching a good comedy show. Like, I'm not going to sit in it, because now the emotion is it's just like slowly unraveling, and I feel like it gets worse, in my opinion. So I sometimes like to take something that could end up being negative and moving it over. Like, I was just
I like
having
that.
a conversation with some friends, and my friend Sydney, who has been on this podcast before, is extremely level-headed, and she don't cuss at all, y'all, which is kudos to her. Can we round of applause? So she is extremely level-headed, and even in situations when I'm like, oh, nah, that wouldn't have went down like that, because I would have been this, blah, 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 blah. And she'll come in with a different perspective, and I'll go, I don't totally agree with that, but now I can say what I need to say, but I can say it in such a way that it still comes off from a good place. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go rah rah with it. And so it does help me to know, like, there's other ways to communicate with people other than being like, oh, I'm fit to be on your neck. When you can't breathe, just know it's me.
Don't do
So
that.
I feel like you gotta learn that about yourself. You gotta be real with yourself. I think we all want to be, I don't want to say, I don't want to say perfect, but we want to be liked. We want respect. Like, no one, no one wants anyone coming for them. And so I feel like sometimes a lot of people who are rah rah, you've been hurt, or you've, like, something has went on. And so now this is your way of dealing with that no one else will ever make you feel that way. But
Right.
then you're literally making people feel the same way that you do. And you don't even realize it, because you haven't dealt with it. You haven't taken it to God. You haven't asked for those things to be removed from you. You haven't found a better way to communicate. You still are just out here thinking, well, they laughing. No, baby, we laughing at you, not with you. Because why is you out here looking like the way you do? Looking like you on holiday heart. Stop
Please sit down.
with the
Shut
bicycle.
up. Right. You and your little bite. Sit down.
Yes. So I think it is very helpful. I get nervous about a lot of things, and I'll talk to my sister about it, and she'll be like, but don't, because that's just gonna be a better way for you to learn, or like, we gonna help each other out, and I'm like, you know what? That is good. And I can take a way more criticism from her than I can from other people. So I'm like, if it's going to be any situation where I'm going to make a change, it might as well be with her, because I can honestly tell her how I feel or what's going on. She's going to honestly give me her feedback. And then, it's something that I can work on. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
think we just got to stop being fearful of a lot of things. Be honest with yourself on things that you need to work on that is of your own doing, and then learn to turn to him in those situations. Like, just give it to God. You can do that at any point. Even when you
Right.
think he ain't listening, he hear you. He
But
hears all.
I was gonna say it does start with, like Brittany said, with taking those bad habits and replacing them with something better. Like, you can't, girl, the longer you sit there talking about, I ain't gonna do it, I ain't gonna do it, the devil like, go do it, go do it. Yeah, all right, one more time won't hurt. And here you are drunk, standing on the couch. So I just
Right.
feel like if you find better habits to replace the things that you're trying, like, you can't just say, "Oh," some people do have that strength and willpower to just be like, "I am done." Like me, I ain't drink, y'all. I feel like if that part voids, because it's like, girl, you're literally, you can't. But I
Yeah.
didn't, and I don't, and even now, obviously I'm pregnant, but even when I think about how much alcohol I used to consume, I'm like, ugh, I do not. Mocktail me, please. I just want a cute little drink. Okay, thank you. But I just feel like once you decide to get out of your own way, if you're continuously in your own way making the bad decisions, the devil literally has nothing. He good. He like, oh, she good. She doing bad. I'm gonna go over here and mess with the person that's doing good. It's not to say just because you're
Yeah.
like, once you do good and you like the devil's gonna come mess with you, but have that discernment to know when it's him and when you need to let God. God, I rebuke whatever this is the devil is trying to do to me. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Because he's trying to take me back to the old me. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to do better, Lord. So just be honest. I feel like that's
Exactly.
another thing a lot of people struggle with, as if God didn't see you do it anyways. It's like it hurts for you to go and pray and be like, God, I did such and such. He saw you. He the reason you got over to that boy house safely. He saw you. So just go ahead and be honest and confess. And so y'all can move on.
That
That's all I'm saying.
Yes. And I think that's one thing that does help me is I am very honest. Sometimes I'm too honest. There is no bush to beat around because I done went straight through that thing.
Right.
But I think sometimes I have a hard time when admitting when I'm wrong and I don't try to blame it on anybody else or any situation or this how I was raised. I used to do that a lot. Well, I was raised like this. My grandma, chased people down the street. Well, my family ain't wrapped that tight. This how we all talk to each other. You just
Mhm.
sensitive. It was always something for why I could say or react to something the way that I did. But then at the same time, I also, as I had kids, which is a very, very hard thing to wrap my own mind around sometimes, and I do work on this daily, is that my child is definitely my child. But when it comes down to whatever day the Lord has planned to take them home, it's out of my control. How they live their life, how they did things. Yes, I'm going to try to raise them the best way I know. I'll keep the Bible, in our home. We talk about God. We do all these things. So they know right from wrong. But at the end of the day, my mama can't save me. My sister can't save me. When I get to the gates, this is all me. He's going to look up Brittany. He ain't going to be like, well, your
Mhm.
mama said, and I saw that one day you did really great. And, she called on your behalf. Ain't none of that fit to go on. It's just, Beatrice been up here saying that's her grandbaby.
Mm.
None of that is about to happen, And
Right.
so I have to know that the things that I decide to do in this world, yes, can they affect other people? Very much so. Other people as well as myself. But if I don't wake up and choose the right thing to do, if I don't walk on the path that he has set for me, if I'm not obedient, if I allow myself in the things that the devil tell me to deter me, this is going to keep me from the promised land. And then
Mhm.
it's also, I feel like it's going to show my girls that, oh, I could be good one day and then I could do wrong the next. No, you can't do that. No, we
Mm-mm.
can't flip flop. You stay, try to stay on the straight and narrow as much as you can. And when you don't let that tell you that you can't come back. You can always come back, but like Destiny said, you have to be honest with yourself. And so some days I have to tell myself, this may not be a good thing for my kids right now, but it's the best thing I can do for Brittany. And I'm not saying like, oh, take money from them or, whatever, because that would be wrong. But
Yeah.
I'm saying sometimes it's okay to put yourself first and make a decision and be obedient, even though in your mind it don't make all the sense. Because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes the Lord be telling me do stuff and I be like, logically, Lord?
Right.
That don't
And
make no
he's
sense. Now, if
like
I don't cuss her out today, I ain't gonna never be able to cuss her out.
"That's the point."
That's the whole point.
So,
So,
yes.
yeah. So, what have you done with Desto?
Um, I had to be done with. I feel like this is something I am done with. I chose to just be okay with growing and evolving with Christ and allowing those people and whatever it is, like to shed away all the things that are not of God. I literally almost
Yeah.
every day ask him to anything that is not of you, please take it out. And that sometimes come with losing people. That sometimes come with those things that you once enjoyed. You don't do those things anymore. So I just had to be okay with knowing that following God means that all the things that I've accustomed to, like, I've grown accustomed to being okay with, and that was my normal, like, things are gonna change. And, if I don't wanna live the life according to, like, allowing the devil to keep me stagnant or whatever, I have to choose God, and I have to, like you said, put myself first. I can't just being like, "Oh, but if I get too holy," so whoop-de-doo. Okay, I'm gonna pray
Whoop-de-doo.
for I'm gonna pray for you, but it is what it is, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people not liking me because I chose God. I'm okay with people talking about me because, whatever. Whatever the case may be, "Oh, she thinks she this, she that. She used to be out here with us doing." Yeah, I used to be. I am not one of those people that forgot where I came from, but that is not where I wanna stay, and I am done with letting the devil. I'm literally just opening the door for him to come in and direct my pa "Oh, no, ma'am, we're done with that. You and the devil can get gone, alright? Imma holla at y'all." That's what I'm done with.
That's good.
'Cause I don't even
Listen,
play
she
like that.
say, stay behind door number 1 and lock it, throw away the key.
Exactly.
All of y'all. Oh, this is a good topic today, but what I don't know if I'm done with it. I'm working on being done with no, I can say I'm done with it. I've been doing better with it. I'll say
Tell us what it
that.
is.
Huh?
I say, "Tell us what it is. I wanna know."
It's, shying away from God. And I say that in the sense that, it's not like I don't pray, but sometimes when you are in your walk with Christ, again, you tend to then surround yourself with like-minded people. And sometimes you can feel very little, like, I don't know as much as they do. I've never read that book. How do you even say that? What are you even talking about? Why do you know the whole entire order? Like, what is happening? And so it makes me feel less of a Christian, and it makes me feel like, okay, you're clearly going to heaven and I ain't, because I
Not
can't even
necessarily.
recite one, right? I can't even recite one scripture. Now you can say something and I could be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard that." And I think something you said about that was wrong, because I do remember this story as well, but I can't say something verbatim. And so sometimes I will I won't be in my Bible as much. I'll just like pray. And it be them prayers where it's like you ain't on your knees, or, having that relationship with him. Is like, you have sleep and you like, Lord, thank you so much today for getting me home safe and take care of my kid.
He like,
It's just
"Girl, go
like,
to sleep."
yeah, you giving half, you know what, communication to God. And so one thing I've been working on is to not shy away because someone else because let's be real, some of these pastors out here be lying.
Out of
And they went to school
and
to teach
lying.
you the word. Mm,
And
Straight
that's why
line. So
when you said, just because they know the word, the devil know the word, that don't mean they going to heaven. Just because they can
that
recite the Bible front to back. So,
so
but your
exactly.
heart, you're so hateful, you're so angry, you're so mean, you're so, but you know the Bible.
Yeah.
So, so
So so I'm done with allowing something someone else says to make me feel less than with my walk with Christ, or as if I can't speak on something, or I can't further learn, or I can't share, things with my sister, or with y'all on the podcast. So I'm kind of, yeah, I'm done with trying to
minimizing
have
yourself.
my walk with Christ look like somebody else's. It's my walk. So my walk is going to look different from yours, and I'm okay with that.
Exactly. Period. I
Yeah.
love that. You go, girl. He said, "I'm
Thank
done."
you. I'm done.
Well, yes, y'all. Stop letting that devil play with your mind. And if it ain't the devil's, get out your own way. Because you have such a
Yes.
great life
Amen.
to live if you just allow God into your life. All right? We love
Right.
y'all.
And we love you.
Why did we say the same thing?
Oh.
'Cause we do. At least you know it was honest and true. But yeah,
Right?
y'all.
Duh.
And that was episode 10 of season 5. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We're doing great.
I know.
But
It's
yes,
exciting.
we appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all in season 6. Ooh, that means by the time y'all see this, I don't know when y'all gonna see this, but we probably done made a year of doing the podcast, right?
Yep. And we're
Yup.
gonna be mama.
And then we gonna have a
Well, I'm
baby.
already
Well,
a
she
mama,
already a mama.
but you know.
My girl gonna be here. But yes, thank y'all
Whoop,
for
whoop.
tuning in to another episode of the You're Done podcast. We're gonna see y'all in season 6 at the same time,
Yeah.
but in season 6. Bye. Peace.
Bye. Coolio. We are done. Now you can enjoy this pregnancy.
What you mean? What?